Today we're going down in the depths to explore a dark cave in Florida. Welcome to Florida Caverns. It is the largest public open-air cave in the state, located in the town of Marianna at Florida Caverns State Park. The caves here are a typical karst type of cave, which means that it's made of limestone that was carved out by water. The water came from the surface, and as it seeped through the soil over thousands of years, carved this cavern system. Eventually, the water found a deeper place to flow into and drained out of the cave, but it's still plenty damp here. There are still several pools and small streams within the cavern filled with lots of cool cave creatures that are entirely unique to this single cave, like salamanders and crayfish. Also, because this is a cave, you can also find bats here. Florida Caverns happens to be the perfect kind of cave for 3 different species of bat: the tricolored bat, the southeastern bat, and the endangered gray bat. I mentioned that the cave is made of limestone. Florida's underground is often referred to as the limestone layer, and all of this limestone was created by animals. You see, millions of years ago, the landmass that makes up Florida was covered in seawater. It was a massive reef made up of billions, perhaps trillions or more, corals. Both ancient and modern corals secrete small amounts of limestone to create structures that protect their soft, squishy bodies. This limestone is also porous enough that water can still seep through it. When one coral died, the others would build on top of it with their own structures.
It's free real estate.
You can imagine that over millions of years, the corals might have built some pretty big coral reefs. In this case, the coral reef was roughly in the shape of what would one day become my home. As the sea levels lowered over time, the limestone layer was eventually covered by sand, dirt, and plants, and boom! The modern landmass that we call Florida was created. This limestone layer, with its natural, porous nature, creates a honeycomb-like structure throughout the entire underground area of the state's landmass. It's also very good at holding and filtering water. Underneath Florida exists massive, expansive caves and tunnel systems filled with fresh water, and we call this water resource the Floridan aquifer. Over 10 million people in Florida get their drinking water from this aquifer. As water seeps through the cavern roof, it carries with it various different minerals, and those minerals collect over time and form stalactites and stalagmites. Those are the pointy things on the cave floor and ceiling you probably imagine when you think of a cave. Stalactites are formed very similarly to icicles, but they take thousands of years to form. They start as a little bump on the cave's ceiling. You've probably seen something similar to this on your shower head or sink faucet that hasn't been cleaned in a little while. It's just a buildup of minerals from the water. But in a cave, over time, that bump forms into what's called a straw, which is a delicate hollow tube, and eventually the straw builds up enough minerals to form a stalactite. And usually, under every stalactite, there is a stalagmite forming. Over thousands of years, as stalactite and stalagmites continue to form, they eventually meet up in the middle and form a column. These and other various structures that are formed in caves can be seen at Florida Caverns, including flowstones, drapery, and rimstone. Caves are not a place most people want to hang out, but there is an animal that lives here that does love hanging out in caves: the bats. You might be scared of bats, and that's okay, but they are incredibly good at eating pest insects like mosquitoes. But bat populations around the US are on the decline. I'd never heard of this until I saw this small infographic at Florida Caverns about white nose syndrome, which is a kind of fungus that's killing bat populations. What's weirder is scientists aren't entirely certain how this fungus started or what's causing the fungus to spread so rapidly. It was first found in 2006 in New York, and in the 15 years since its discovery, it's wiped out some local bat populations by 90% all over the US. It's sad to see how horribly our bat populations are being affected, and if you'd like to help bats, you can help by building an artificial cave for them through the creation of a bat house, or avoid going to any underground areas that have postings about white nose syndrome, as humans might accidentally carry the disease on our shoes. Also, avoid touching bats. You can also share this video about caves and this weird disease. I know this is an odd note to end the video on, but comment what you think about bats and tell me if you'd venture into a cave. I can't wait to read what you have to tell me.
So, I'm Zak Zak, this is Florida Caverns State Park, and thanks for checking out what makes Florida so wild.